Hey, what's happening, world? I want to take this opportunity to address the Brady campaign and Chris Kitaeff, an alleged successful gun dealer, according to a press release by Representative Robin Kelly. He is a confirmed talking head for the Brady campaign, or Everytown for Gun Safety, or Moms Demanding Some Action, or whatever it is Michael Bloomberg is calling his anti-gun lobbying arm these days. Chris Kitaeff owned an FFL license under the business name Newport Firearms as early as 2012 and up till September 2015. You may be asking, why would an anti-gun lobbyist go through the trouble of pretending to be a gun dealer? And the answer to that is because it's easy to lead by example while making the ridiculous claim that he's one of the rare, law-abiding firearms dealers who has adopted and follows the Brady gun dealer code of conduct. He also claims to represent one of the overwhelming majority of alleged gun owners who support so-called common sense legislation. Mr. Kitaeff also mentioned that he's seen 6 background check failures in 6 months. Also, what better opportunity to meet with politicians in Washington, D.C. to discuss gun control than to claim you're a gun dealer who has witnessed firsthand background check failures, straw purchase attempts, and attempted purchase by felons. Chris Kitaeff has been following the Brady campaign as early as 2011. He owned a Twitter account at Chris Kitaeff, which was basically just a shill account for the anti-gun lobby. He deleted his Twitter account around mid-2015 when he started actively doing write-ups and traveling to Washington, D.C. on behalf of the Brady campaign. In his first open letter, he boldly accuses several retailers, without any evidence mind you, of selling firearms without background checks. In a recently released C-SPAN video dated December 8, 2015, he claims he was disgusted by the Sandy Hook tragedy in 2012 and that it was a turning point in his successful career as a so-called firearms dealer. Yet he had been parroting Brady campaign talking points as early as 2011, using typical anti-gun lobbying buzz phrases such as common sense gun laws, gun show loophole, and I support the Second Amendment, but... It's clear this gentleman had an anti-gun agenda before the 2012 massacre and possibly before acquiring the license. It's impossible to know when exactly he acquired it, but records show it must have been early to mid-2012. In the December 2015 video, he made new claims that he was actually running the firearms shop for his father-in-law out of his own home apparently. So how did he even get an FFL anyways? As I understand it, you have to get interviewed by an ATF agent when first acquiring a license and pay at a minimum $200 a year. Question 18A asks, do you intend to sell firearms only at gun shows? If yes, do not submit application. Local news reporting sites say he was a gun show dealer. Did he lie on his form? Or did he check yes and submit anyways? For whatever reason, the ATF must have given him leeway to support his anti-gun crusade and ended up giving him an FFL. But why didn't his father, Joseph Courtright, have his name on the FFL? Further, why didn't Joseph Courtright have his name on any of the associated business documents? At least before 2015 when he decided to change up his story about his father-in-law being involved in the business.
I did obtain my FFL. It was a business I knew about. My father-in-law, who had done so much for me as a young man, was down on his luck. This was something that I could invest in, build around, and give back to someone who had given so much to me.
It's also fishy that this Chris Kitaeff guy squatted a bunch of unused domain names. So far, between him and his wife, we know that he has domain squatted the following domain names. Also, his latest story doesn't add up. He said he started the business for his father-in-law, Joseph Courtright, to give back. He did a pretty piss-poor job at keeping his firearm business afloat if there ever was one to begin with. Also, any references to Newport Firearms, his alleged business, are scant. There was a zoning application in September, which was when TucsonNewsNow.com reported that he had let his FFL expire, and some ads were possibly posted in BidButt.com classifieds. Perhaps these were last-ditch efforts to make his fake business look legitimate. Either way, they're gone and seemingly unrecoverable. There was never a functioning website on any of his squatted domains, and any references to a so-called gun business have been erased from the face of the internet. Is it possible that Chris Kitaeff actually was a firearms dealer and that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? There was a conspiracy on THR forums where someone said that this whole thing could just be a plot to get rid of the competition by eliminating non-FFL holders from conducting private sales. But that's just stupid for two reasons. One, he no longer owns an FFL license, and two, he's certainly going through a lot of trouble for so little gain. I mean, how much business would be gained by eliminating private sales? He's clearly not profiting from this. I check the news a lot for gun control stuff, and I keep hearing this Chris asshole, and I'm just sick of it. The Brady campaign has already tried this grassroots nonsense of trying to get gun owners to join them, and I guess they're still at it. They may have fooled FFL cuck sellouts like Barry Laws from Open Range Gun Shop in Kentucky, but I hope most people are smarter than that. The difference between Chris Kitaeff and Barry Laws is that Open Range is an established gun shop, whereas no one knows who the hell Newport Firearms of Arizona is, nor can anyone vouch for them and say that they've ever conducted business with Chris or his ghost business. I don't feel that Chris Kitaeff is a major threat, but he should be exposed as the fraud that he is. And it's just another bullet point on the Brady campaign's list of lies and deceit. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about or whatever. That's all.